What's the most pathetic attempt at impressing someone you've ever seen? My coworker Nate had been obsessed with this girl Laura from accounting since she started working at our office. He would walk past her desk 15 times a day, hoping she'd notice him. Every time she sneezed, he'd sprint across the office yelling, "Bless you," like his life depended on it. The thing is, Laura was completely out of his league. She drove a Tesla, wore designer clothes, and spent her weekends at charity galas. Meanwhile, Nate lived with his mom and collected Pokemon cards, but that didn't stop him from trying to win her over. One day, Nate overheard Laura telling her friend she was looking to buy a Rolex. His eyes lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. The next week, he showed up to work wearing what he claimed was a $40,000 Rolex. He made sure to wave his arm around dramatically whenever Laura was nearby, nearly smacking several people in the face. The watch looked legitimate enough from a distance. Laura finally noticed him and actually came over to his desk to compliment it. Nate was practically floating, telling her all about how he invested in crypto and could give her investment tips sometime. That's when Greg from IT walked by and did a double take at the watch. "Hey, isn't that the fake Rolex from Amazon? My kid has the same one. Like $30 right?" The color drained from Nate's face. Laura's smile turned ice cold. But instead of admitting defeat, Nate doubled down. He insisted Greg was mistaken and that he could prove the watch was real. He said he'd bring in the certificate of authenticity tomorrow. The next morning, Nate strutted into the office waving a very official-looking certificate. The problem? It was clearly printed on regular paper with Comic Sans font and a clip art Rolex logo. Someone pointed out that he'd even spelled certificate wrong. Laura wasn't even trying to hide her secondhand embarrassment anymore, but Nate still wouldn't give up. He offered to take her to the Rolex store during lunch to verify its authenticity. She agreed, probably just to see how far he'd take this train wreck. At the store, Nate was sweating bullets. The employee took one look at the watch and started laughing. "Sir, this isn't even a good fake. The second hand isn't smooth, the date window is crooked, and did you draw the Crown logo on with a Sharpie?" Laura walked out of the store without saying a word. Nate thought he could still save face by claiming he'd been scammed by a very convincing street vendor. He followed her out, still trying to explain, when his watch literally fell apart. Pieces scattered across the sidewalk as Laura stepped into her Tesla, but the universe wasn't done humiliating him yet. As he knelt to gather the pieces, a gust of wind blew his certificate of authenticity right into Laura's windshield. She turned on her wipers, shredding it into confetti. The next day, someone had taped a half-dozen fake Rolexes to his monitor with a note saying, "In case your other investment fails." Even the office cleaning lady was wearing one. Nate finally admitted defeat and switched to wearing a Casio. He also stopped sprinting across the office for sneezes. But 2 months later, I caught him Googling how to fake owning a Tesla on his work computer. Some people never learn. The best part? Laura ended up dating Greg from IT. Turns out she had a thing for guys who could spot a fake Rolex from across the room.